Good morning, students. In last class, you have learnt about some modes of asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction you were discussing in last class, and there we have discussed about fission, budding, fragmentation, and regeneration. Now, today we will start a new mode of asexual reproduction, that is vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation or vegetative reproduction. See children, propagation means elongation, reproduction to produce new. Now, here is a term vegetative. There are two terms, or there are two types of parts in plants: reproductive part and vegetative part. Vegetative parts are roots, stem, and leaves, and this reproductive parts are flowers. Okay, so when the flowers are involved in reproduction, means the reproductive part is involved in reproduction, then that will be the type of sexual reproduction or the mode of sexual reproduction. But if the vegetative part, that is roots, stem or leaves, are used for the reproduction of the plant, then it will be known as asexual mode of reproduction. And since this asexual mode of reproduction is using the vegetative part of the plant, that's why this is known as vegetative propagation. So from here, this is clear that in vegetative propagation we will discuss about the reproduction of plants by stem, root or leaves, or in common you can say by the vegetative part of the plant. Now, as you already know that some stem or some plants have modified stem, some plants have modified roots, okay, which are meant for storage or any other functions. Okay, so here are some plants which can be grown by using the stem, root or leaves, like a rose plant, money plant, or potato. In these plants, if we cut a portion of the plant having at least one node, this is a must, like it is a rose plant. Okay, a rose plant. The points where the leaves are grown are the nodes. Some nodes are here also. So if we cut a portion having at least one node, like we can cut this portion or this portion, okay, and if we grow this part in the soil, okay, just place this portion in the soil which is having the two nodes, okay, this is soil, then from these nodes new plant can regrow. Okay, so here the new plant has been grown by using the vegetative part, not the reproductive part. Okay, so this is a kind of vegetative propagation. Roots are also used for vegetative propagation. We can cut a part of root also. Okay, and potato, you all are known with the potato. Okay, potato have some buds, some notches on its surface, okay, which are known as eyes. And you have seen in some in the rainy season that it has been grown, some buds are there on the potato. If we cut this bud and grow into soil, it will give a new plant. Here seed is not involved in the reproduction, flower is not involved in the reproduction. What is involved is the stem part. You know potato is a modified stem, so this stem has been used to grow the new plant. So it is again a type of that vegetative reproduction. In carrot, radish, sweet potato, these are some modified roots which can be grown into new plants. Okay, now take a example of leaf, bryophyllum. Bryophyllum leaves can give rise to new plants also. See children, I am drawing a bryophyllum leaf. It is having various notches. These are the notches. Okay, in favorable conditions, in these notches, some small leaflets are grown. Small leaflets. I'm not saying the leaves because these are very small. That's why I'm using the word leaflet. Okay, some small leaflets are grown on this single leaf. And when this leaf sheds off and it falls on the ground, all these leaflets will grow into a new plant. So from the single leaf we can have many more plants. Okay, here also the seed is not involved in the reproduction. What is involved here is the leaf. These new growing leaflets are having their nutrition from the leaves only. Okay, and by getting the nutrition from leaf they are growing, and they will convert into, when this leaf will fall on soil, these leaflets will get the, just assume it has fallen off and this is the soil. Okay, so these leaflets will get the nutrition from soil and will convert into small plantlets, and these plantlets will then further grow into new plants. Okay, so these are the different modes of vegetative propagation. Some artificial modes of vegetative propagation are also known, like the layering, grafting, and cutting. Cutting means simply cut a part of plant. If you are cutting a part of stem, then it should have a small node. You can cut a part of flower, you can cut a part of branch, you can cut a part of leaf and grow in the soil, and then that cut part will grow into a new plant, that will be cutting. Layering, in layering what happens, see here, just assume it is a bushy plant. This is soil. A bushy plant is there, okay, which is having many branches. Okay, now if we take a branch and twist it and bury it under the soil, then what will happen? From this buried part a new plant will grow. Okay, and what we did, we layered the branch of plant into the soil. So this process is known as layering. After growing of the new plant, we can cut this part, then this branch will again go into the initial plant or the parent plant, and new plant will grow. Okay, this is layering. Now grafting. In grafting we use two plants. Okay, just see, it is a plant, rooted plant, and this is the canopy of the plant. There is another plant of same species or same type. Okay, now just assume these are two species of mango. This species is juicy and this is sweet, and we need both the qualities in a single plant. Then we can use the process of grafting. What we will do, we will take some part of this plant and half part of this plant and will grow them as a single plant. Here we will make a cut here also and here also. Okay, we will take the rooted part of one plant and the upper part of another plant, just like this. This is the rooted plant part of the juicy plant, and the upper part of this sweet one. Yes. Okay, this is sweet. Now when this and we'll tie it tightly, okay, and we'll water it for some days. Then these two parts will combine with each other, and this plant will grow as a single plant which is having both the qualities. Okay, so this process is grafting. In this process, the upper part is known as scion and the lower part is known as stalk. Okay, now one more method is here, which is the very recent one, known as tissue culture. Tissue culture. Here in this process, what happens? Tissue culture, in this process, some part of the tissue from the growing region of plant. In ninth, you have learned that growth is limited to some portions in the plant, like it is a plant. So this tip of plant will have the growing region, is the growing part of the plant. Okay, so if we want to grow a new plant, we can take small portion from this position, from this space. Okay, we will take some cells from here and will grow into an artificial medium, will grow in a in an artificial medium, okay, which is having all the nutrients required for growth of plant, growth and development of the plant. So here these cells will divide and will form a group of cells which is known as callus. This callus is taken and is grown in an another medium which is having hormones for growth and differentiation of this callus. You know, differentiation is when the tissue loses the ability to divide and acquire a specific function. Okay, that is differentiation. So the tissue made by this callus, all cells are same. Now during differentiation, different groups of cells will acquire different functions and will form different tissues, and then it will convert into small plantlets, and all this process is happening in the laboratory under our observation. Okay, when these small plantlets are grown, then these small plantlets will transfer into the soil, where these small plantlets will be converted into plants by taking more nutrients from the soil. Okay, so this process is an artificial process which is happening inside a laboratory under the observation of the human. Okay, and the advantage of this process is we can grow same or genetically identical copies of the plant. Genetically identical copies means the carbon copy or the exact copy of the plant. Secondly, we can grow disease free plants also. Just take the example, this plant is having some disease, but you know the growing region, in this region cells are continuously dividing and growing, and the newly formed cells are increasing the length of the plant. So this portion is having the new cells, and the old ones which were the part of the diseased plant are left behind, so this new portion or the newly formed portion is having the healthy cells. Okay, so from a diseased plant we can grow a disease free plant by the process of tissue culture. Okay, so we can grow disease free plant also. Secondly, it takes less time. Okay, so these are some advantages of tissue culture. Now children, advantages of vegetative propagation. We have left this topic, advantages of vegetative propagation. See, first advantage is same, less time is needed. When we grow a plant by using seed, it takes a more time, a lot of time, but by using this process in less time we can grow a new plant. Second, genetically identical copies can be formed. Genetically identical copies or identical plant can be formed. Okay, next is one parent is required, only one parent is required. We can grow a new plant from only one plant also, by the sexual reproduction or by using seed we need two plants from where pollen are transferred from one plant to another plant, then a seed is formed. We will discuss about it later on. Okay, so if we want to grow the plant by seed, then we need two parents, two plant bodies, but by vegetative propagation, our purpose can be solved by one parent or one plant body also. Okay, we can grow seedless plants also. If a plant which is having no seed or very less seed or very small amount of a small size of seeds, or you can say unviable seeds, like the banana which is having very small size seeds which are not unviable means which are not capable to grow new plant. So such type of plants can be grown by using the vegetative propagation, because these plants are seedless or are having unviable seeds which can't be grown into new plants. Then these plants can be regrown by using vegetative propagation. And lastly, such type of plants which are grown by vegetative propagation need less attention. We don't have to pay much attention towards these plants. They can be grown easily because they are already a part of a plant which are having all kind of cells which are capable of growing by themselves. Okay, so this is about today's topic. I hope it is clear to all. Thank you.